Dysfunctional families. During the time I was trying to reconcile with my brother, I came up with some theories which I had before. I had to explore every avenue. That, in the case of my mother, between 8 and 9 p.m. on the 20th of December, anyone could have slipped down the slope, very steep slope, and in through the back door and into the kitchen, into the sitting room, and then suffocated in her armchair. This is true, that could have happened as long as the back door was left unlocked. And it might well have been. My mother would never have left it unlocked when my father was not there, but he might have left it unlocked. What I didn't say, because I was trying to reconcile with my brother at that time, was that the first time I ever had that theory was that my prime candidate for slipping down the slope and doing that deed was my brother. And I'm not saying it just to be nasty because now we've fallen out again. I've thought this for years. It's probably not so. In all probability, it was my father on his own who did it. But it crossed my mind because my brother's reaction to my mother's death was absolute, utter frigidity. He never showed any emotion at all, at any time. And when I hugged him, it was like hugging a block of ice. Of course, it didn't occur to me in my naivety at the time that might have been an aversive reaction to me because of all the things he had been told about me, which at that time were undeserved, by the way. I always tried to do the right thing, but in my own defence I was seriously handicapped, except when I was introduced to a circle of really nice, decent people. It got a lot easier then. I don't know how much I've said. I never want to replay the video on which I talked about my mother's death. It's one I never replay. I think it was probably the first I uploaded. We left at 8 p.m. My mother was alive and she was talking. And his phone call came as near to 9 p.m. as I can remember. I must admit I might get the times very slightly confused because it was also roughly 9 p.m. when Ken died in the same year at my home. I know only 1 hour elapsed between leaving my mother alive and my father phoning to tell me that she was dead. I was so shocked. This phone call, she's dead. Who? Who's dead? On some previous video, I said that he had said, "Your mum." No, he didn't. He said Romy. Romy being her nickname. Romy. And of course I now think that he had suffocated her as soon as we were out of the door. It was the safest time to do it, was it not? We weren't coming back in a hurry. We were going to home to feed the kids. We weren't likely to go back that evening. We wouldn't have gone back that evening had there not been this phone call from my father. I'm very interested, of course, in the Madeleine McCann case because they also delayed calling for help, as my father did with my mother and as he did with Fiona. If you are concerned that somebody might be dead, you don't call people who are unable to help in any way, shape or form. You call in the authorities. You call ambulances, you call the police. Even I, in those circumstances, would still call the police. Although I have no faith in them anymore. I mean, when a complete stranger was unconscious in my stairwell in Newquay, and looked to be dead, I called an ambulance, not the police, but turned out he was stoned on heroin. But, if you think somebody is in dire need and or already dead, the normal person calls in the authorities. 999. What service do you require? At which point you say ambulance, or you say police, or you say both. What you don't do is call your daughter and say she's dead. And when she tells you to call an ambulance, fail to do it. I called the ambulance after I'd found my mother very clearly dead. Pity I didn't call the police as well. Pity when I was asked that vital question, what service do you require? Having seen the blood-stained cushion, having seen the blood trickling out of her mouth, tried. Pity I didn't say police and ambulance. Get over it. Well, if I could have got over the multiple attacks on my person throughout my childhood, or seeing my own flesh and blood molested by my father. I'll tell you, Michael, there are two things I can never get over, and that is my father's confessions to murder, and they were confessions to murder. Unless, of course, it was you who slipped down the slope and sneaked up behind her, because you didn't give a shit about her and she fucking adored you. How ironic.